Hey, good morning out there. Figured I would take a short video and just walk around a couple of rooms that I have and show you the different kind of shelves that we were talking about. This first one's where I got the masterpiece figures, and this is one of those inexpensive Walmart or Target specials that we were talking about. These will run you 20 to 25 bucks, sometimes less, on sale. And this is where I have these Toy Stages backgrounds, which are really neat. And then you can actually buy these floor panel pieces and kind of use those to fill out the look of the shelf. So something I had played around with there that I enjoyed quite a bit. So that's one of the options that we talked about. Let's look at some others. Alright, so we walk in the main collection room here. This is one of those big 4x2 Lowe's shelves that we discussed on the show. And this is one of the nicer ones. It's got this black powder coat to it, this kind of gray, somewhat finished look to the shelving. Still not the nicest thing in the world, but you can really fit a lot of stuff on it. So if your goal is just fit as much as humanly possible on here, then, well, these are a pretty good way to do it. I like how this one is because it's in the middle of the room, so I've got half of the shelf facing front and half facing back, which when we walk around you'll be able to see the back side. That keeps it from getting a little, too deep. In this case with these G1 figures, I've gotten some, they're a little hard to see, but got these plastic risers here, and then there's another row of them that's a little taller. I'm trying to get back here. That Metroplex is sitting on, Roadbuster is sitting on it in this case. There, you can kind of see the other corner of it there by Perceptor's foot. So that gives it a little bit of a height difference, helps step them out a bit. I don't know what Primal's doing there. That'll help that look a little bit better. So if you get it too deep, it can be way too much on there. But that's okay for me. I'm not trying to win any contests with how well organized and clean it looks. I think that's probably obvious already. This is a shelf with Prime figures and arms microns. Not quite as well organized as that G1 one. Pardon me. This is just another size of those bigger shelves. I think this one is 18 by 3 feet. It's got some movie figures on here, and rescue bots and beast machines. You see, you can kind of fit a lot, but you can already tell, that 18-inch depth, that it's pretty deep, and especially if we come down here and look at like Universe 1.0, we're pretty crammed in there. Not the best looking thing, but it gets them out, gets them on display, and you can mess with them if you want to. But if you're trying for a good looking display, I would go with something not quite as deep. Of course, this is another just standard bookcase. Probably doesn't run much more money-wise than the one that the masterpiece figures were on. And there's actually two stuck on top of each other, a 2 shelf and then a 4 shelf. I've also got a lot crammed in here, which again, you probably don't want to do if you want it to be better looking, but if you just want to get stuff out, you can certainly still fit a lot on something like this. It's just some of the Energon guys, so you can see you can just use some of the height there, and got some of the shorter things in the front. This is just a little plastic shelf, which is an extra one. This one's made to be able to be taken down rather quickly. So again, nothing too special here, but these are just a cheap plastic shelf from Ollie's or somewhere. Smaller shelf here in the middle. Just something that fit nicely in the middle of the room. It was nice to get the base bots on there. And you can kind of see here with that first big shelf how we've got it in the middle of the room, so we got 2 sides that we can play with. And if we come around, you can see these guys are fitting. They're facing this way, and then if I look back, there's the G1 guys that were we were looking at before. And this is the other, it's the same size as the first shelf we looked at, but it's just the gray paint, and it has the just plain particle board there. So not the best looking. This is the Decepticon shelf I mentioned in the show. Kind of also a mess right now. I think I've disclaimed that enough, though. It is what it is. Oh, I hope that helps you out. Oh, I almost tripped over it. There's the air cleaner. So this is very nice for keeping dust off of things. Nothing much exciting to look at, but it's got a main HEPA filter in there and then a pre-filter which will help you get rid of that dust. Leave it running quite a bit. In the summer months, it's good to have a fan going. It's good to have a fan going all the time, but that would get it a little too cold in here right now. Alright, well, that's all.